There is a big problem that we need to address and tackle in this video right now, and I'm talking about NFTs.
Let's talk about NFTs. NFTs.
A week after a boom in NFTs.
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 NFTs. NFTs.
NFTs are the future. NFTs are the future.
There is a huge bubble, there is an impending crash, and if you don't know what it is that you're doing, if you don't know what your investing is, this video over here, if you watch till the end, is going to be a video that is not just going to make you a lot of money potentially, but it's also going to save you a ton when it comes to really understanding what this crash is all about. So right now, NFT seems to be the big thing. Pretty much every influencer, well, a lot of influencers anyway, people like Gary Vee is constantly talking about NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and its application in pretty much everything, in collectibles, in virtual land, in art. And today in this video, I'm gonna be showing you this one thing that you gotta be doing if you wanna be able to monetize in any NFTs by really understanding this one simple principle, okay? So before I talk about, first of all, if you're new to the channel, if you're thinking, Peng Joon, first of all, what is NFTs? I don't even follow. So NFTs, non-fungible tokens, is an... First of all, let's talk about what something that is fungible is. So for example, a gold bar would be fungible. If I gave you a 1 kg worth of gold bar today, and tomorrow if you gave me back another 1 kg worth of gold, I'm not gonna say, but wait a second, that's not the original 1 kg gold bar that I gave you. I want back the exact gold bar, right? It does not matter as long as you gave me back a 1 kg gold bar. Now that's an example of something that's fungible. So if I gave you, say, a $100 note, same thing. If you gave me back 2 $50 notes, I'm not gonna say, but wait a second, it's not the original exact $100 note that I gave you. It's not gonna matter because it's still gonna be $100. So that's an example of something that's fungible. So let's think about what is then something that's non-fungible. Non-fungible is when every single item is all unique. Okay, now what application would that be? For example, it would be a concert ticket. Right, if I gave you a concert ticket, go to a Lady Gaga's concert this Saturday at row 1A, you can't give me back another Lady Gaga ticket for the following Wednesday at row 7F because it's just not the same thing. It could be applied for real estate. It could be applied for a collectible. You see, now this is where NFTs changing everything, and this is why there's a bubble happening at the same time if you don't know what you're doing. So right now, because of its application, because of blockchain, one space that people could not have monetized right up to this point were people like artists and people that's good with creating digital art. So for example, an animated video, because for the longest time, there's no value in an animated video. Anybody could be saying, oh, wait a second, I could just go to YouTube, I could go to Google Images, and I could literally take a screenshot and save this image as this thing or save this video. So there's no value in that. And for the longest time, content creators, animators, video editors couldn't monetize that skill set other than selling that skill set as a service. However, today NFTs has changed everything. Because of blockchain and because it's possible to track and see that really there is a limited amount of this specific image or video by minting this specific thing into the blockchain, you could actually see that the creator could say, hey, I'm gonna release this thing right here, and there's only going to be X amount of these copies. So maybe there's just 1, 5, 50, 100, 5,000, 7,005, but whatever it is, you could verify this number, that there truly is from this original creator, and number 2, that there really is just a limited amount of these amount out there because it's verified the blockchain. This is when a collectible that is virtual can truly be sourced and tracked to the creator. And number 2, you can truly see that it's transparent. You can see how many there are in circulation. And if somebody says, I'm creating 5,000 of this thing here, you can really see there's only 5,000 of them. Okay, so right now, because of this, it's new exciting times ahead. But right now, there's also a huge bubble. Okay, so now that we've identified what NFTs are, so because of this, And because it's changed everything, a lot of big name companies and even more big name companies are gonna come up creating their own collectible. Okay, so I'm just gonna start off with this. Okay, so the question is, which NFTs are good? Which one's a bubble? Which one's a bubble? Which one's an outright scam? I'm gonna talk about which ones first of all from a macro perspective. Okay, so this is NBA Top Shot. It is an officially licensed NBA product. So remember back in the day, I feel old for saying this, remember back in the day when collectibles or basketball cards used to be physical, right? So this is an example of something that's changed everything. So for example, I could go to the marketplace right now and I could take a look at and see that these are all of the different collectibles, right? That is being sold on the marketplace. And as you can see that I can actually verify that this rare Aaron Gordon, there's only 499 of them that's sold for $420, right? And there's 98 people selling it. So I could go through, so if I were to go to filter and, so for example, if I wanted to buy a LeBron James, so for example, okay? You can see that right now some prices are absolutely insane. Okay, so for example, this is a legendary LeBron James card, or they call it a moment, where the cheapest one is going for $77,000. Okay, so if I were to click on this, what are you really buying? Okay, let's understand this for those of you you're new. Right now, what you're really buying is you're buying this moment. Okay, and let me just kind of move my picture to the right. So what you're buying is this moment over here. Okay, and you're probably thinking, if you're new to this, like, I don't get it. Like, anybody could go to YouTube and buy this moment, right? Or rather, could download this clip. Why do I need to pay $77,000 for this? Here's why. It is because it's linked to the blockchain, and because of that, you can actually see the transactions of all the different people that has bought the different versions. And you can see that, again, there's only this edition size, there's only 59 of them, and that's why it's so expensive. Okay, so if I were to take a look at the listings, you can see that number 58, the cheapest one, being sold at $77,000, number 10, $94,000, 31, $99,000. Okay, so it is for that very reason, because you can verify that there is a limited number, that this is an officially licensed product from the creator, which is NBA. That's why it's holding value. And for that very reason, right now, there's a huge bubble. Now, I'm not talking about NBA Top Shot specifically. In fact, this platform has made me a lot of money buying these collectibles. I'm talking about really understanding what type of digital art, digital land, digital game, digital NFT to buy when you understand this principle that I'm sharing with you today. Okay, because when you understand, if you stay till the end of this video and you actually watch and really understand what happens in every single gold rush. Okay, whenever there's huge opportunity, when there's a gold rush, like what's happening right now in NFTs, you're gonna realize that the people that always wins during any gold rush are the people that is not mining for the gold, but rather selling the shovels. Okay, so this is the first principle to understand. So what does this mean? It means that right now, the gold rush is NFTs. Everybody's trying to spot the right NFT. Is it going to be NBA Top Shot? Is it going to be an Beeple art? Is it something that's sold on OpenSeas? Is it virtual land? Right? I've talked about how I am putting my money in all these different entities. Is it the VV app, which by the way is another NFT platform that I'm heavily invested in the collectibles. And I'm not here to tell you which platform is the one that's going to be the winner, even though we are going to talk about the platforms, but I'm first going to start off by showing you how to think about all these different platforms, okay? Because here's the thing, right now, if you've been following this NFT game, you'll know that this CryptoPunk was sold for 7.5 million, okay? If I can show you the image, it's going to shock some of you that doesn't know how this looks like, okay? That's not how it looks like. This one. This CryptoPunk NFT sold for, take a look at this, $7 million. And this is what it looks like. Now, you could be like, what's going on? Like, why would people, again, it's because everything's one of a kind. Now, I'm not gonna go deep into this, but all I'm saying is the cheapest CryptoPunk, which is an NFT that was for like one of the earliest NFTs out there. The cheapest one right now is going for 25,000. Now to me, that's a bubble. And the odds of one of those NFTs going from 25K, the cheapest one, to 50K for CryptoPunk to 50, I would rather take that amount and invest it somewhere else. The risk-reward ratio just isn't there. So the question is, so what NFT should I be buying? Should I be putting my money in NBA? Should it be in VV? Should it be in Virtual Land? Should it be in OpenSea? Which platform? Okay, so the way to think about this is coming back to the old principle. Since the beginning of time, when man was out there looking for gold and trying to mine gold during the gold rush. And I actually said this in a video from 2018. Okay, this video was in 2018, and I actually talked about same thing when Bitcoin was an all-time high, 2017, 2018. Okay, and I said that if you want a really safe bet, because this is a time when Bitcoin was going up and down, was still very volatile, was an all-time high back at that time. And I said that 2018, moving forward for the next 1-2 years, if you want to have a really good safe investment where you're not trying to be the person chasing the gold, but rather selling the shovels, I want to show you this really old video that I created back then. Okay, and this was the thing that I said. Who are the people that actually is wanted regardless of the entire situation, and what happens at the end? Well, one company that would be NVIDIA, right? The people that's manufacturing the graphic cards. Why? Because they are ultimately the people that's selling the shovels. That's one party. Now think about it. Last year alone, their sales went up exponentially as a direct result of cryptocurrency. So if you wanted a really, really safe investment, I would say, well, I invest in NVIDIA because I know that very, very conservatively, even if it was a bubble, even if it crashed, NVIDIA would just revert back to what they did and things will go back to normal for them. However, this thing's a bonus. So I'm constantly thinking about who are the people selling the mining picks. And that is why right now you'll probably see in your Facebook feed a ton of people on all these different gurus selling courses, seminars. Why? Because what they're trying to do is, again, selling the mining pick. This was a video that I shot about 3 years ago where I talked about how I think about every single gold rush. Now you could be saying, well, Peng Joon, if you hodled on Bitcoin, you would have like 100x returns. Yes, I get that. All I'm trying to get you to think about is, it's not about so much about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency or NFTs now. It's about every single opportunity in life. Whenever there's a gold rush, think about how can I be part of the ecosystem and be involved in the people or companies or organizations that is selling the shovels, because that is going to be a much safer bet. And as a direct result of that, this video, as you can see, from 3 years ago, 2018, you take a look at NVIDIA stock, okay? So right now, 2018 till today. So at the lowest, 2018, they were about 129 US dollars. Let me just kind of zoom in on this, okay? 150 at a peak, back then it was about 270. So 130 from its lowest point till today, right now at the time of me shooting this video, okay, they're about $513. That means that if you followed my advice back in 2018, you have more than tripled your return on investment in the last 2 years, okay? Now, again, this is following this principle of just investing in companies and in the ecosystem that sells the shovels rather than trying to pick and find and mine the gold yourself, right? NVIDIA, because they were a huge part of providing the graphic cards to enable people to mine cryptocurrencies, they were the ones selling the shovels, right? And if you had a mining farm in cryptocurrencies, you would need these graphic cards. The question of NFTs and spotting the right winners and how to think about this and if this is a bubble, which, by the way, from a micro perspective, I can tell you that many of these platforms, most of them, they're not going to be worth, they're going to lose about 80 to 90% in its value in just a matter of months. However, from a macro perspective, this is going to take off. So I want you to understand how to think about this. So in all these different platforms, whether it's NBA Top Shot, whether it's OpenSea, whether it is the app VV that recently got the license for digital collectibles or DC together with Ultraman and that's the one that's going to drop next week. And but apparently they have got over 100 different brands and licenses because what's hyped up around VV, which by the way is on the iTunes store. It's basically where the head of licensing used to be the person that brought Pokemon outside of Japan to the US, and that's why he's well connected in the licensing game. Anyway, so then it begs the question, right? So who's going to be the winner? The winner, if you want to be able to be part of the people that is selling the shovels, would be the currencies where the NFT, so it would be the top NFTs and collectible tokens. Okay, so for example, the app that I was talking about, which was VV, okay, I got into this token about 2 weeks ago, and at that point in time it was 0.004 cents. Right now it's 1 cent. Okay, now first of all, am I asking you to buy this? I've already gone in on this. First of all, understand that this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial guru. There are good odds that by following what I say, you lose everything you own. And that's just part and parcel of high risk investments. So do your own due diligence. I'm showing you how to think about this, okay? So if you take a look at this, okay, right now, this was in a span of, so I went in at about, I was a little bit late. I went in somewhere about 1-2 weeks ago, okay, at 0.004, okay, and you can see that it's about 2x, 2.5x so far, okay. Now, I personally feel that I'm going to be holding this for a long time to come. But first of all, what is this eCommy token? Now, eCommy token is the token that VV app utilizes in their transaction. So what that means is, this is the VV app, okay? I could go to the store and I could be shopping for digital collectibles. There's Batman, there's the Joker, there's Ultraman, they have Cartoon Network, and all these digital collectible NFTs. So as the end user, most end users will never know what cryptocurrency is. They don't know what happens under the hood, right? The same way how most people just go online, go to the internet, but they don't know what's under the hood. Now, under the hood of every NFT platform, it's always backed up by blockchain. And it's always backed up by a specific token that powers the blockchain, that powers that app. So for example, this app, VV, is powered by OMI tokens. Does that make sense? So that means that now there's a whole tokenomics behind the sustainability of it all, whereby, and whenever somebody buys them here, there's a percentage that goes to buying the tokens, and there's deflationary measures, which I'm not going to go into because it's going to be a little bit technical. But understand that ultimately, if this platform takes off, right, it means that the coin that powers it all is going to increase in value because it's being utilized and because there is a whole economics behind it. Does that make sense? Okay, so a coin like Chili's, for example, am I asking you to buy this token? No. Right now you can see that it's already been pumped, okay? I'm showing you how to think about it so that this way of thinking is still going to be relevant to you 3, 6, 12 months from now, depending on what the new platform is, right? So for example, socials is where it is the platform where if you are a fan of UFC, if you're a fan of all these different football clubs, you will be able to buy and sell these collectibles, fan tokens, in order to show your support. And it's an NFT, right? It's basically where you'll be able to show your support as a fan. Now, what people don't know is that the thing that backs up this platform, right, to the end consumer, is that the token is called Chili's, okay? So, in other words, the way to think about, now there's Decentraland, where their coin is called Mana. So remember Flow? Now what is Flow? Flow is the coin that backs up NBA Top Shot, right? It's by Dapper Labs. And if you feel that this thing has got huge potential, this is not like a hit and run thing. It's not a pump and dump, okay? This play is if you feel that you want to be a part of that project and you feel that that digital collectible, you're a firm believer of it, or you're a fan, then the best way is not just to try to spot and buy the NFT, but to be a part of the ecosystem instead and to buy the coin that powers the NFT. So that's what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing when I'm thinking about investing in NFTs is I'm not just buying the NFT itself, the digital art or the digital collectible. That's what I do, okay? But I'm investing in the platforms that I believe will skyrocket because I believe in the concept as a whole. So the question is, what are the platforms that I believe in that I've been investing in? Well, before I tell you that answer, if you have enjoyed this video so far, right up to this point, be sure to smash the like button. It does help the channel out a little bit so that YouTube will also recommend this video to more people. Let me know in the comments below what type of NFTs, art, coins are you interested in that you feel has got serious potential. And be sure to press the subscribe button, the bell notification button, if you want to be able to have updated news with respect to this. I know that this channel is not an NFT crypto channel, and YouTube might be, recommending this video to some of you that might be new to the channel. This is more about marketing, but I'm also showing you how to think about this entire thing as this bubble is happening right now. So the question is, what platform am I investing in, and what are the kind of things that I'm looking out for? Okay, the first one is where Marvel is going to go at, right? So if you've been watching my channel, you know I'm a huge Marvel collector. Now, I don't know if VV or OMI is going to get Marvel since they've gotten DC. I feel that since Marvel is owned by Disney, Disney is going to look at all these people making huge bank, like NBA Top Shot with Dapper Labs, and they're going to go, you know what, we want to be able to launch our own thing. So I think that Disney is a giant on its own. They might be able to launch their own thing. Or if they want to be able to move in fast, that is when they are going to work with platforms like VV, and that's when OMI, that coin, would really skyrocket because this is still pretty much at ground floor. Now, am I asking you to go into OMI? Again, this is not financial advice. And again, I want to be totally clear, my viewpoint might be a little bit biased because I am holding on to that coin and I intend to hold that for a long time. It's not something that I'm going to just let go in a couple of weeks. So the way to think about this is really your favorite stuff, your licenses. Now, I want to be able to see where Pokemon, right? You know that Pokemon is going to be an NFT eventually, officially licensed. I want to be able to see the platforms that backs it up. So you take a look at all these different platforms. What are you doing right now? They're having these drops. They're making people queue up just like NBA Top Shot. In the last drop, there was about 250,000 people on this digital queue hoping to get a pack, right? That's all part of the hype. That's how they hype things up to make sure that, people want to get in line and queue, just like how anything that's hyped up in the offline world works, right? So I want to be able to see the big brands, the ones with that you and I, the collectibles, right? That people love, that you and I love. Think about what that would be for you, and the moment they release an NFT, rather than trying to get in line, which is fun as a hobby and as collectible, but think about how you can get involved from what's happening under the hood, which is the cryptocurrency coin that powers it all. So remember, in every gold rush, the people that makes the money is not just the people mining for gold. In fact, 90% of people will not make money, but it's for people that is selling the shovels. And if you can't sell the shovels, try to find a way to be involved in the organizations that is selling the shovels. Hope you enjoyed this video. Guys, let me know in the comments what is your biggest takeaway, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.